Welcome, Joseph Kindo here. Here in Raccoon City, we hold high regards for the men and women working within our local law enforcement, the Raccoon City Police Department, better known as the RPD. Of all our first responders, only the most accomplished make it into the RPD's elite task force, STARS team, which stands for Special Tactics and Rescue Service, founded in April of 1996. Amongst the team was a wide array of men and women with different backgrounds and specializations. However, the one thing they all shared in common was the Samurai Edge, the master-crafted 9mm handgun designed specifically for the needs of STARS. Several months after the formation of STARS in December of 1996, the RPD proposed an order to create an exclusive line of handguns to be set as the standard sidearm for the members of the team. The gun in mind had to be custom-built with an impeccable design to fit the specific criteria listed in the contract. The criteria of the design reads as follows. It needed to support 9x19mm parabellum rounds, the common cartridge carried by law enforcement in handguns and SMGs alike. It needed to have a magazine capacity of at least 13 rounds. It needed to be fit with fixed 3-dot type sights for faster target acquisition and fast-paced CQB scenarios. It must perform at the accuracy of 2 inches or less within 25 yards, with consistent performance after an additional 3,000 rounds. The trigger must be double action. The weapon must be ambidextrous. And the net weight of the gun without ammunition must be under 35 ounces. To get such a weapon, the RPD would seek out several contenders to construct designs for the upcoming STARS custom handgun. This task would hold up to be quite the challenge, as there were very few gunsmiths capable of taking on such a contract. The first contender to take a shot at the contract was the local gun shop right around the block, the Kindo Gun Shop, Raccoon City's home for custom weapons and ammunition supply. It was known as the firearm destination for the most avid gun enthusiasts of Arklay County. The Kindo Gun Shop was owned and ran by Robert Kindo, a close friend of STARS member Barry Burton. Robert's skills in the firearms business mainly resided as a salesman, who kept great relations with the RPD and built a name for himself around the area. However, Robert's popularity wouldn't overshadow the works of his older brother, Joseph Kindo. Joseph had many years of experience as a member of SWAT for the San Francisco Police Department. This expertise came in handy when he was invited to train the newly formed STARS team. But above these accomplishments, he was best known as a legendary gunsmith. After his contract expired, Joseph returned to the San Francisco suburbs, where he continued managing his own Kindo gun shop. Soon after, he was contacted again by the Raccoon City Police Department to participate in designing a new handgun for STARS. Most gunsmiths would hesitate to accept such an ambitious contract, but this challenge excited Joseph. Against all odds, Robert and Joseph would be submitting both of their designs separately, and with both of the Kindo brothers working on their own models for the new STARS handgun, competition would really need to exceed the limits of these two experts. That competition would be none other than the Umbrella Corporation, the massive pharmaceutical enterprise that had become the economic backbone of Raccoon City. They may have built their reputation off of an endless line of medical products, but they were also a common opponent in the race of cutting-edge technology and innovation, including weapons research and development. With Robert, Joseph, and Umbrella put against each other, the trials would begin to create the prototype for the upcoming STARS custom handgun. Over a year later, in February of 1998, the three would meet at the Raccoon City Police Department. In Chief Iron's office, there lay 3 cases. The first being a custom aluminum case with Kindo Custom Shop printed on the outside, ordered by Joseph Kindo. The second being a black plastic case with the Umbrella logo, and the third being an aluminum case just like Joseph's, but this one was Robert's. Inside Joseph's case, a Beretta 92F, outfitted with a Brigadier slide housing custom iron sights, with both the front and rear completing a 3-dot sight system. Joseph also handcrafted his own wood-paneled grips with rubberized inserts, which stand very reminiscent of the original 92F grips, but with a magwell covering what would normally be the lanyard loop. To top it off, the slide was engraved with the Kendo Custom Shop signature logo. The weapon inside Umbrella's case remains a mystery to this day, but we can speculate that it was possibly based off of one of the armaments used by their shadowy security services. It may have been a stretch to make their weapons fit within the strict requirements, but with an entire weapons research and development team on their side, they were definitely capable of such feats. The gun in Robert's case was just unacceptable. Robert had overheard the recent case with Barry Burton and designed his handgun with this in mind, but his model deviated completely from the criteria listed in the contract and was disqualified, thus leaving Joseph's and Umbrella's guns to proceed in the trials. These two designs would be put to the test by Chris Redfield, the most qualified marksman in STARS, earning his reputation from his numerous victories in competitive shooting. The first of the trials would be an accuracy test, held at varying distances of 25 yards. This trial was completed by using various types of ammunition, from hollow points to full metal jacketed rounds. Joseph's model achieved results of 3/4-inch spreads every 25 yards. After an endurance test of 40,000 rounds of gunfire, a falling damage test, and corrosion resistance test in salt water, Joseph's Kendo Custom would prove itself to be the superior design and would continue development for the prototype Phase 2. Joseph had returned with the prototype Phase 2, an updated version that took into account some of the feedback and considerations of the previous trials. For this model, Joseph added front slide serrations, matching the original 92F rear serrations. He also gave it an extended slide stop, along with a blued barrel and guide rod. We are first introduced to it in the Resident Evil 2 remake as an in-game unlockable, named the Samurai Edge Original Model. Its description reads, 15-shot capacity 9mm handgun, one of the guns used during the STARS trial test, nicknamed Kendo Custom Phase 2. It can be obtained by completing the game with an S rank, and it serves as the only handgun with infinite ammo. Its use is also seen in the Ghost Survivors game mode under Robert Kendo's challenge, No Time to Mourn, where you begin the mission as Robert in the back of the Kendo gun shop already equipped with the prototype Phase 2. Of all the weapons he had given away to the citizens of Raccoon City, Robert decided to keep the Kendo Custom Phase 2, a weapon that he knew he could rely on to survive the horrors of Raccoon City. But unfortunately, we know this is a tale of a future that never was, of a night that never dawned. The Kendo Custom may have been officially awarded the contract for the STARS trials, but this wouldn't be the end of the road for its development. As the results of the second trial await, so does the third and final form STARS custom handgun, the Samurai Edge. We wanted to spotlight this custom airsoft build created by JC Cosplay. It's built from Tokyo Marui Samurai Edge parts, which he meticulously modified to create the Samurai Edge prototype Phase 2. It features all the right details accurately to the in-game model, from the blued barrel to the filled-in wood grips. This piece is so professionally done, one might mistake it to be an official Capcom product. Maybe Resident Evil 2 Remake could use a second Marui airsoft release, and if it's the Kendo Custom prototype Phase 2, we wouldn't be disappointed. So, that's it for the story of the STARS handgun trials and the origins of the Samurai Edge. You're gonna have to stay tuned to hear the rest of the story in Part 2. Be sure to check out the Kendo Gunshop Instagram page at kendo.gunshop, link in the description. If you'd like to help the Kendo Gunshop expand its business past Raccoon City, feel free to share the video with your friends and help spread the word, or leave a comment on what guns from Resident Evil you'd like to see a video on next. And make sure to come back and visit us at the gun shop for more content about the firearms of Resident Evil.